Hello everyone, today I will be presenting my project on text summarization in NLP using Hugging Face Transformer. For this project, I choose to focus on text summarization because it is one of the most useful and practical application of natural language processing. Everyday people deal with a huge amount of text such news article, research paper, reports, emails, and meeting notes. In many cases, reading everything in full takes too much time. This is why summarization is such an important task. It helps reduce long text into a short form while still keeping the most important information. In this presentation, I will explain what text summarization is, why it matters, how Hugging Face Transformer can be help for this task, and then I will show a simple and small demo to discuss the result. Let me begin with the introduction. So what is really NLP? Natural language processing or NLP is a branch of artificial intelligence that focus on helping computer understanding, interpret, generate human language. NLP is used in many applications that we interact with every day. Some common examples include machine translate, chatbot, sentimental analysis, question answering, speech recognition, and text summarization. Among the those applications, text summarization is especially useful because it helps people process information more effectively instead of reading the long article or full report. A user can read short summary and still understand the main point. So, what is really the this topic and why? What is the text summary, right? The text summarization is process of taking a longer piece of text and creating shorter version that preserve the main meaning. The goal is not just to shorten the text, but to keep the key ideas, important facts, and overall message. For example, if we have a long article about a city transportation project, a summarization system should be able to produce a brief version that mention the project update, purpose of the project, and any important expected outcome. A good summary should save time for the reader without losing core meaning of the original content. So why it matters in real world, right? Um, in real world, it can be used to summarize news articles so reader can quickly understand event. It can help student and researcher review long academic paper more effectively. Business can use it to summarize reports, email or meeting transcript. In healthcare, it can be helpful to organize long clinical notes. In customer service, can be summarized support conversation or feedback. So before it is so much text being generated every day, automatic summarization has become more valuable than ever just because nowadays with AI we see like lots of text being generated, right? There are two main types of text summarization: extractive summarization and abstractive summarization. Extractive summarization works by selecting important sentences or phrase directly from the original text. In other words, it doesn't create new wording. It simply picks the most relevant parts and combine them into a shorter summary. Whereby abstractive summary is different. Instead of copying sentence directly, it generates new sentence that express the same overall meaning in a more compact way. This is closer to how a human would usually summarize something after reading it. So in this project, the main focus is on abstractive summary because modern transformer model are very effective for such this kinds of task. So we mentioned the transformer just now, right? So what is a transformer? Now I want to briefly explain the transformer since they are the main technology behind the summarization tools used in the project. Transformer are a deep learning model that have become very important in NLP. They are designed to handle sequence of text, learn relationship between words in a more effective way than many other approaches. One of the key idea behind transformer is the attention mechanism. Attention helps the model focus on the most relevant part of the input when processing language. This is very useful for summarization because the model need to understand what part of the original text are the most important. It also need to understand context, relationship between sentences and overall meaning of the document. So here is an example of like Hugging Face transformer. Um, to work with those like different models, to work with those models more easily, many people use Hugging Face as a transformer library. Hugging Face Transformer is an open source library that provides access to many pre-trained NLP models. It supports wide range of tasks, including summarization, statement analysis, translation, text generation, and more. One reason that library is so popular is that it makes advanced NLP model much easier to use. Instead of training a model from scratch, user can load a pre-trained model and apply it to a task with only a small amount of code. I choose Hugging Face Transformer for this project because it is widely used, easy to apply, and very useful for demonstrating modern NLP tasks. So here is an example code. So we must import the tokenizer and then the model, auto model, and then for using the tokenizer, we import the model and then do the tokenizer. So let's define the model, and then we input the whole text. So in this article, we can pass the whole text, and then we generate the summary, and then we decode the summary. Moving on. So Um, why Hugging Face for the summarization, first of all, right? Um, for text summarization, Hugging Face support several powerful pre-trained models such as BART, T5, or PEGASUS. Um, those models have been trained on a large dataset and can generate strong summary for many kind of text. I selected this tool because it gives a good balance between simplicity and power. It allows user to create working summarization example without having to build a model from the beginning. This makes it especially useful for student, researcher, and developer who want to experiment with NLP. Now, I want to go to the demo part of it, of the project, right? In this demo, I used Hugging Face summarization pipeline. So the pipeline makes the process simple because it handles technical step internally. It tokenizes the text, send it through the model, tokenize the text, send it through the model, uh, and then generate the summary of the output when decode, right? The sample input text in the demo is a short article about a city transit authority that announced a 6-month modernization plan for downtown bus route. The text mentioned redesign schedules, a new digital arrival screen, expand work weekend service, pilot bus only lane, station upgrades, and concern from local business about construction impact. This is a good demo example because it contains multiple important details and it is a long enough to show the value of summarization. Now, this is the demo output it came in. Um, um, there's a couple of other example. So we can see like there's another example I have tried. Here it says that New York CNN blah 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 married multiple time in New York and SR without a fuss. So and this is the other generated summary. Here we just have a sample and then we have a reduced. So let's analyze the result, right? Um, Now, overall, the summarization output is effective because it reduces the length of the original text. While keeping the main idea, a reader can quickly understand what the project is about without reading the full article. This also show that the biggest advantage of transform-based summarization, it can save time and make large amount of text easily to understand. Another thing is the summary is written in a very readable way. It is not just list of expected sentence. Instead, it presents the information very naturally, which is one of the benefit of abstractive summary. However, summary may still leave out small learn but useful details, which means it is useful but it may not capture everything. Now let's talk about on the challenges and limitation, right? There are some important limitation to consider. One limitation is the summary may leave out details that could still matter, such as timeline, stakeholder concern, or specific numbers. Another limitation is the abstractive model can sometimes generate wording that sounds correct but not fully accurate. It This is sometimes called factual inconsistency or in LLM side hallucination. The quality of the output also depend on the input text. If the original text is unclear, poorly written, or very long, summary may be weaker. So the Hugging Face Transfer, however, on the other hand, is very powerful and con convenient tool. It is important to understand that the automatic summarization is not perfect. It is useful, but it should still reviewed by human in important situations, especially like if include um, some medical concern, right? The in conclusion, I want to mention the project showed how Hugging Face Transfer can be useful or can be used as a practical tool for text summarization in NLP. Text summarization is important because it helps reduce information overload and allow people to understand long text more quickly. Hugging Face also make the summary easier by providing access to pre-trained transform model that can be generate summaries with relatively little code. The demo also show that transformer-based summarization can produce clear and useful result. At the same time, the analysis also showed that there are still limitations such as the risk of missing details or generating slightly inaccurate statement. Overall, I think Eigenface Transform is very strong tool for NLP learning and experiment, and text summarization is great experiment of modern NLP tools. NLP models can solve practical problem. So I want to end this with a thank you, and these are some of the references that I choose and have a